Given that so many of you want to start your own Amazon FBA journey, but have the problem of starting off with a relatively low budget, I thought I'll make this video with all of my experience and give you some advice as to what I personally would do if I was starting off with as little as £500. What's up, you guys? It's Ben and welcome back to my channel. We'll talk about everything there is related to selling on Amazon. Now, we must understand with more money comes more opportunity, and the higher the budget you have, the more opportunity you have at making money, at getting more products, and therefore making more profit in the long term. However, just because you're starting off on a relatively low budget doesn't mean that you should use this as an excuse and not start at all. It just means that your path may take a little bit longer and may be a little bit harder in the very beginning. That being said, there are still quite a few things that you can do to start your Amazon FBA journey and make sure you are making every single step necessary to leave your 9 to 5 and do this full time. And with that being said, guys, if you are interested in selling on Amazon, you really want to take this seriously and you're running on a bit of a higher budget, then please don't forget to check the links down below for my own personal mentorship, where I myself will help you and guide you every step of the way. Otherwise, guys, if you're running on a relatively lower budget, but you still want to use some of the business tools that I use and always talk about, then please don't forget to check the links down below for awesome, by far the most reliable e-commerce accountants out there in the market, Helium 10, the best product research tool that I could find, or Pioneer, Amazon owned approved business bank account to start off your Amazon FBA business. And with that being said, guys, let's get straight to the bit. So if you're going to start with relatively low budget, you're going to have to think of something called online or retail arbitrage. This essentially means where you actually use blood, sweat and tears and actually going to have to put in some work, go into potential discount retail shops, buy the products in bulk and then sell them online. Now, the benefit of this is the risk is relatively low and you don't have to expel a lot of your budget in the very beginning. Take Maplin, for example, which I believe now closed in 2018 or 2017 or whatever. Quite a few of my friends who were on a relatively low budget, just like I was queuing outside of the shops because they were providing such big discounts for all of the products that they had on sale because they had to get rid of them given that the stores were closing down. Things such as headphones, wires, phone cases were selling at 70 to 90% discount because the store simply didn't care what price they were gonna go, they simply had to be gone. Now, this was an amazing opportunity for so many people out there to get a lot of these products for a very, very cheap price and resell them on places such as Amazon, eBay, Gumtree, Facebook Marketplace, or whatever. Okay, this is so important, and it's also really important to have that sort of mindset to what you can potentially find that is cheaper, that if you list it online could potentially make you a profit. This is a very, very good example for anyone who's starting off with £400 to £500, literally going into one of these shops and just checking sales. How much is this phone case selling for? Is it making any sales? How much are these USB sticks selling for? Is it making any sales? And if they are making sales, and if you can potentially make a profit after fees, grab and hold a lot of them and then sell them individually one by one later on. Also, you can do is online arbitrage. This is where you potentially go into discount online shops, you buy those products in bulk and you sell them individually on Amazon, eBay or whatever. A great example to illustrate this usually is for protein supplements. There are various wholesalers out there who will actually sell you protein supplements in bulk at a much bigger discount. Now, if you will gonna go that route, then you may have to have a bit more money to start off with. However, it's just another good way for you to actually get an idea of how Amazon works, how buying in bulk and selling them individually works, and how to make sure you calculate all of your fees, your shipping charges, etc. You know, how important it actually is. This is a very, very great stepping stone for you to start off your own Amazon FBA business because in essence, you are still relatively low risk. There is not much you can potentially lose, but the lessons that you are learning right now, you'll be able to use later on in the future. The next thing that I want to talk to you guys that is super important is look for ways to initially increase your budget. Now, I understand this is much easier said than done, but like I said in the very beginning of the video, the higher the budget, the more opportunity you have. But what does that mean? Well, if you're starting off with £500, then you have to look for ways such as online or retail arbitrage. But let's say you have £2,000 or £3,000, then you may very easily be able to buy a product or two in bulk from China, bring them over from China into the UK and sell them for a profit and a much higher margin. Therefore, getting that initial budget is paramount. Now, so have a look at your wardrobe. Are there any potential items that you haven't worn or touched in months that you may want to sell off? Have a look at your video games that you haven't played with or whatever, sell them off. Have a look at items that are literally just collecting dust in your storage, in your wardrobe for months, that are simply not being used, that you could easily sell for a profit. But remember guys, the money that you will make from these things, you can't just go out and spend it. You have to make sure to think as a business owner and collect that money and start thinking of ways of how do you reinvest this money back into the business, whether it's online arbitrage, retail arbitrage, or how you can potentially use this money to start your own Amazon private label business. However guys, like I said before, initially every single penny counts. Any penny that you can potentially save or not spend or potentially invest is really, really important, because once you learn the trick of compound interest, it's really, really important for you to start off on a relatively higher budget, because then the opportunity just gets that much bigger. Therefore, if you can pick up an extra shift, do so. If you can spend a little bit less, do so. If you can sell off some of your items that you're not using, do so. Do whatever it takes to just increase that initial budget, because it will make such a big difference. The next thing I really want to explain is the importance of reinvesting. Now, if you've been looking at a lot of these Amazon FBA private label ads, you will see people on their laptops in flip-flops and shorts, effectively making it look like it's extremely easy. The truth is guys, for the real folks like you and I who are starting off on a relatively low budget, we are not going to become millionaires overnight. The truth is, you're going to have to work for free for a very, very long time. I had to work for free for over 2.5 years. Imagine that, you're selling products, you're seeing profit coming into your business bank accounts, but all of the money that you're getting, you're reinvesting back into more products. You're not taking anything out. My lifestyle didn't change at all and still hasn't changed over now 3.5 years later since I started my Amazon FBA journey. Reinvesting and putting that money back to work is what is going to make you success. If you all of a sudden think after selling a few products you can easily take some money out as profit and go on a night out or go on a potential holiday, then you're stagnating the growth of your business. If anything, you should still have the mindset when you're starting off from square zero as to how can you potentially get more money to fuel that flame that your business has now created, and therefore increase that rate of return and growth that much quicker. The benefits, the fruits of your labor will come in the future, but in the very beginning right now, we need to buckle down and remember that we're going to have to work for free for quite some time, and we won't see any return for that whatsoever. However, that being said, we will know in the back of our heads that we are working for a better future. We are doing something that will help us leave our 9-to-5 and actually be our own bosses and make our own decisions in the next few years. And eventually, when you do have the budget to start off your own Amazon FBA private label business, start off nice and slow. Each and every single student that I bring onto my mentorship gets exactly the same message. It's not about making you a millionaire. It's about teaching you the right way of building up a business from scratch. It's about making sure that you get education and experience in the very beginning. And as a result of that, in order to get this education and experience, you don't have to spend all of your money at once. The lessons you learn from a 15, 20 pound product is exactly the same ones that you're going to learn from a 5 pound product. Take it slow. Make sure to do as much research as possible in your very first product. If you're going to think whether or not you should order 200 units or 500 units, always go for the lower amount, because it's much better to be stuck with a product that is selling out very, very quickly and you're now out of stock than to be stuck with a product that you're not selling at all and you're actually losing money on storage fees, on PPC, and so on. Therefore, take it slow, take your time. Patience is a virtue, and in this business, it will be very, very useful if you have the necessary patience, because if you don't, you will start making rash decisions. You will potentially get emotional with some of your decisions, and you will start making mistakes. I've seen this happen time and time again. And that's pretty much it for today's video, guys. I really hope you found it useful. If you did, then please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.